All right, go for it.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one and only V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, El Cuco, the master of the flux capacitor, who is working the airwaves. And we are bringing you all the news, all the views, and all the information important to you. Check us out on roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money, and Rogue Money on Facebook, Steemit, DTube. I mean, we're everywhere you want us to be, and then some in a bag of chips. Every single podcasting app, and heck, you can even find us on Apple News. I think we're the only alt media site there on Apple News, so that's quite an achievement for us. With that being said, also check out our sponsors from Incom.net. Whether you need some money to score those dream businesses you've been thinking of, or you need to get some cryptos, or whatever the heck it is you want to do, RemainCom.net is the place for you. Maybe you need to get your credit fixed. You can check those guys out. Either way, go from a 500 to an 800. These guys can do it all. RemainCom.net. Don't freak out. RemainCom. Also, guys, get the silver back. It's on the attack. That's the way you need to roll when you want to hide from the NSA. You ain't got to worry about the spying. 1024-bit ECC encryption. Well, what the hell does that mean? It means it's unbreakable, baby. That's what the silverback's all about. Get it at the still low introductory price of $299. Less than the $329 that I was going for. Also, guys, the cryptoschool.io is on fire. Cryptoschool.io, the cryptoschool.io. Make sure you put that THE in there. The cryptoschool.io. Learn the best that you need to know about cryptos. Learn what are the best wallets, exchanges, how to move in and out of fiat, the whole 9 yards, the kit and caboodle, baby. Thecryptoschool.io, my friend. And with that being said, Siege, what's happening, brother? CJ, are we still live?
I was muted the whole time.
Oh God, you did it again.
You know, V, I'm absolutely just absolutely triggered this morning, V. I'm just losing it. I just don't like people using the word shithole. I just don't.
God.
It puts me over the edge, man.
No. I mean, it's how can he say such a thing? I mean, don't we know as Americans, whatever happened to give me your poor, you're tired, you're weak, yearning to breathe free? Whatever happened to that? Don't we just open up our arms and let everybody in? I mean, isn't that what it's all about? We're supposed to bring everybody in to increase the Democrat Party's voter base. I mean, to help the poor people, right? Is that what we do?
Well, yeah, and even if you don't do that, then you figure out ways to get them to vote illegally, V.
Right, or you just make up ballots or have dead people vote like The Walking Dead. It's totally normal. But how can this president call these countries a shithole? Oh, it's so insensitive. Oh my God. The beta cuck part of my personality is saying, oh my gosh, it's just so bad, CJ. Oh my God!
When is the last time?
Before I go off, go ahead. What's up? Go ahead.
No, when is the last time that you used the word shithole? I mean, I think it was probably just last week that I referred to something as a shithole.
Well, I was in a particular part in New York, which is a neighborhood that I particularly don't like. I called it a shithole, man. There are some PJs and project areas and poor neighborhoods. It's a shithole. I mean, oh my God, why would you call it a shithole? Because it's a shithole. You wouldn't even want to drive your car through there. It's a shithole. You wouldn't want to live there. It's a shithole. Now, let me explain something to the dumb libtards out there and you social justice warriors. Let me explain something to you idiots, okay? You morons, just like you environmentalist fools. See, did you ever notice that the biggest hardcore environmentalists are people who never go outside? Did you know that?
Yeah, great point. Absolutely.
Right? They never went outside. So what are these? So when these idiot environmentalists decide to actually go outside and go see Mother Nature. I'm going to go take my camera and tripod, and I'm going to go film a grizzly bear. What happens, CJ?
Get ready.
They get their asses eaten alive, right? They get ripped up. They become torn up. That's what happens. Okay? So how many cases have we heard of liberal tree-hugging environmentalists? The first time these urbanite yuppies, these latte drinking, these lapping of latte drinking urbanite yuppies all of a sudden go into the woods for the first time in their life where they're not on a controlled, family picnic area where they decided to set up camp. No. They actually go out to the woods, the real woods, and they get killed. They get eaten by a wild animal or they fall off a cliff because these idiots don't know what the hell they're doing. Let me explain something. The reason why I bring that up is this. It's the same thing that's going on here. You got libtards who've never traveled anywhere outside the United States because most of them are broke to begin with. These libtards who've never seen other parts of the world, who take very cheaply the fact that they live in the United States. They take very cheaply the fact that they live in a westernized and civil society. They take that cheaply, and they think that there's something wrong with the fact that we have electricity and running water. There's something wrong with the fact that you can go to Wally World, pick up a sweatshirt, a container of motor oil, and lipstick, and walk out of the freaking Wally World, which is Walmart. There's something wrong with that in their minds. They have this guilt because they've been cucked for the last 30, 40, 50 years by the school systems and the elite libtards up top. So this is what happens, okay? These fools who've never traveled. Folks, let me explain something to you. The majority of the world is a shithole. The majority of the world lives in less than $1 a day. If I ever see Don Lemonhead, I don't know whether to throw something at the guy or grab him by his ankles, hold him upside down, or just I wouldn't punch him. I'd feel bad punching him, CJ. I'd slap him because I know his dad never did that to him. When I hear idiots like Don Lemonhead over at CNN, what's up, CJ?
I said I would definitely personalize it with him. That would be a slap, not a punch.
Yeah, I would definitely just have to slap because he'll start crying. He'll start crying. He's such a bitch. When I hear these effeminate men, these little nanny-ninning men and libtard women that are on CNN and MSLSD, and I'm hearing them, how can he call those countries in Africa shitholes? Because they are shitholes. Let me give you guys a rundown list of shitholes in Africa, okay, where there's conflict till this day, okay, where there's social unrest, where their economy is in shambles, where you wouldn't even want to live there yourself, but you want to put on that virtue signaling T-shirt and say, how dare our president call those countries a shithole? How come he didn't call the white countries shitholes? Because there's no such thing as white countries that are shitholes. You fucking morons. Excuse my French. It's not even cuss with Gus. Excuse my French. What quote unquote, let me just dispel this, folks. What predominantly white country in the world is a shithole? The answer is none. The answer is none. Okay? The answer is none. Highest education, the lowest infant mortality rate, the best healthcare, best stable governments, wonderful economies, the rule of law. That's why people from these shithole countries, those that have the means and the brains to get the hell out, they go to these racist white countries. They come to the West. They come to Western. Nope. See, does anybody wake up and like, I'm not waking up in Malawi and saying, Oh man, I just woke up in Malawi. If only I can go to Somalia. My life would be so much better. Nobody wakes up in like freaking, like, you know, like, what is it, Burma. Nobody wakes up in Burma, or what's Burma called? Myanmar. It says, I must immigrate. I must immigrate to Uganda. I need to go to Uganda. I need to go to Somalia. I need to go to Niger. That's where I need to go. Because that's where so much opportunity is. No, what are they doing? They're waking up and they're saying, hey, you know what? I want to go to the UK. I want to go to France. I want to go to Germany. I want to go to the United States. Heck, I even want to go to Canada. I want to go to Denmark, Netherlands. You mean they want to go to the white countries? Yeah, they want to go to the white countries. No one wakes up in Burundi and says, you know what? If only I can move to Yemen. No one says that. Now, let me give you people. This is not for my listeners, because my listeners know they're very educated. They're great demographics. These guys, our demographic, CJ, are people that are woke, really woke. The word that these millennials are using these days, they have no concept of what woke is. But this is for you millennials. This is for you libtards, you cucks on CNN, you bastards, sellouts, and miscreants who've never traveled outside of your own home state, let alone outside of the country. Okay, first and foremost, let's start with Africa. Shall we, CJ? CJ, should I break down Africa?
Break it down.
All right, let's go through the shithole that is Africa. I'm going to start rattling off names of countries in Africa, CJ, where there's conflict, racial unrest, crappy economies, hopelessness, political corruption through the roof, and absolute bedlam and chaos, and or civil war. Okay? In other words, I'm going to give you a list of countries. You just don't want to freaking live there. So this is a list of countries that's either an economic depression, there's a civil war, or there's a famine, pestilence, plague. There's some biblical judgment type stuff going on over there. And I'm gonna go through that list. You ready? Zambia, Namibia, Malawi, Angola, Mozambique, Lesotho. I never knew there was a country called Lesotho, CJ. Did you know that? Never even heard of it. It's in Southern Africa. Oh, yeah. It's in Southern Africa. There's a country called Lesotho. It's a shithole. Swaziland, another shithole. Zimbabwe, a hyperinflated shithole, where hyperinflation is over 2,700%. A shithole. South Africa, a wonderful country that's been turned upside down and now is being converted into an overnight shithole. It's going to be on the gorilla's wall of failed states. Yes, folks, I have the gorilla's wall of failed states in my office. Okay? Venezuela's there already. Okay? And Zimbabwe is there as well. Now, South Africa is keen on joining it. You wouldn't want to be white and go to South Africa. If you know what the hell is going on in South Africa, oh my God. Oh my God. Do you realize even under apartheid, the majority of Africans were leaving Lesotho and Namibia and Malawi and Angola and Mozambique and Zambia and Sierra Leone and Nigeria and Mauritius and Mali and Liberia and Guyana and Ghana, and they're all migrating to South Africa under apartheid? Do you realize that? Why? Under the evil white rule. The evil white rule. Those migrants that were from the other African countries going into the other blacks that were in Africa. This is the truth. I don't give a rat's ass about how you feel about this fact. That's why I don't throw a book at Oprah. I want to throw one of her books on her book list at Oprah when she says, all that matters is your truth. There is no your truth, you idiots. There's only the truth, and then there's your opinion. So this is the truth. I don't care how it makes you feel inside. Go grow a pair of balls. Go get yourself a testosterone shot. Maybe you feel better. So those migrants moved to South Africa because even under apartheid, they had lower infant mortality rates than the surrounding areas. Even under apartheid, they ate better. They had better schools. They had better hospitals. Even under apartheid. Is apartheid good? Hell no. Is it a great system? No. But even under apartheid, it was better than the shitholes that these people were coming into. And then apartheid ended. And the liberal whites that were there said, hey, you know what? Let's just kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Let's all kumbaya. And now over 180,000 whites have been murdered. It's genocide. It's genocide. No law, no order. Farmers' lands are being taken from them, and the white farmers are being thrown off. White farmers have been there for generations, who've been there since the 15 and 1600s. Excuse me, the 1600s. Been there for generations. Oh, the South Africans are evil, V. They were involved in the slave trade. No, they weren't. Look at your history. When they first got there was no slave trade. The slaves there were actually on the smaller side. Couldn't really sell them. Okay? And the vast majority of blacks that are in South Africa today, genetically and historically and genealogically, don't even belong to that land. They're from other parts. So yeah. Little side note. Little side note there. Okay? So back to the list of shitholes, CJ. After South Africa, I got Chad. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, another one. Then you have the Republic of the Congo, because the Congo and the Democratic Republic of Congo decided to shoot the shit out of each other and kill each other and broke up into two different countries. Then you have the Central African Republic, CJ. Then you have Western Sahara, Sierra Leone. And have you ever heard of this one? Sao Tome and Principe? That's another shithole. Nigeria, Niger, Mauritius, Mali, Liberia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Ghana, Gambia, Gabon, Cote d'Ivoire, I can't even pronounce it. Cameroon, okay, where it's rough. That's going to poverty. You name it. It's a shithole. Okay, one of my favorite UFC fighters, Francis Ngannou, is from Cameroon. Freaking, they got human slavery that's going on over there. Okay, Burkina Faso, never even heard of that. Benin, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda, Mauritius, Comoros, Madagascar. Madagascar, the plague is going like crazy. Why? Because when the people die, they're taking the dead bodies and dancing with them. Freaking morons. Okay?
Yeah.
Eritrea, another shithole. Okay, it's a totalitarian country, the only other country in the world that requires its citizens to pay taxes even when they're living abroad. The other one being the United States. Djibouti. Okay? Ethiopia, always having problems there. Somalia, they're in a civil war there. Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Sudan, another civil war. These are all the countries. Dude, that's like 90% of Africa that I just rattled off. Shitholes. Conflict. Should I go through the shitholes in Central America? Sure. Guatemala, you don't want to move there. There is some political corruption. There's some instability. El Salvador? Oh, hell no. Hold on, let me take Guatemala off my list. I meant to say Nicaragua. Nicaragua, not Guatemala. Guatemala's nice. El Salvador, you wanna hang out with MS-13 and the stupid ridiculousness over there, or maybe Mexico. That's soon to be a failed state. And you got the idiot Vicente Fox, who's out there saying that Donald Trump has made the Oval Office into a shithole. Then you have other countries in Central America, like Honduras, a shithole. Countries in the Caribbean that are shitholes. The countries in South America that are Bolivia. My point is this, folks. What are we getting in exchange from bringing all these people in here except expanding the Democratic base? You cannot bring in people that have a 70 IQ into a civilized country and expect them to be contributors to society. That's why Trump said we should have more people from Asia coming over. Why? People from Asia, from India, those parts of the world, they're freaking brilliant. They have on average a 105 IQ. You look at over here, that's economically, statistically, Indians and Asians earn more income than whites, are more educated than whites. They bring in a lot more money than whites. They have less prone to suicide. They have lower crime rates than whites. So that myth of white privilege just goes out the window. It doesn't exist. It's a stupid myth. And here it goes, man. This is the reality. God forbid we call a spade a spade. But you know what? You want to know something? Even though the damn libtards and liberals who've never lived out anywhere outside of their little comfort zone, and just like those idiot liberals who said, if Donald Trump gets elected, I'm going to Canada. Why don't you go to Malawi? Oh, wait. You don't want to go there. That's a shithole. You want to go to the other white people or white nation, white countries. That's where you want to immigrate to, right? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The rest of the country is behind President Trump. The rest of the country understands that we don't need people from these shithole countries here. Period. Bro, I tried to immigrate to Canada one time. Did I tell you the story, CJ?
You did?
Oh, yeah, I tried years ago. Oh, yeah.
What'd they say?
I tried to legally immigrate to Canada, and I filled up their application the whole 9 yards, and I was denied. They wanted a $500,000 investment from me. They wanted to know do I know anybody there? Am I going there and starting a business? Will I hire Canadians? They got all this demands on me, CJ. All these demands. Okay? All these demands. Why? Because it's not an easy country to migrate to. New Zealand. If I wanted to legally migrate to New Zealand, you got to become with marketable skills. You got to have a degree. You got to have something. But if you're an idiot, you got a 70 IQ or lower. You're a borderline retard, and I don't care if that word offends you. Oh my God, I'm so tricky. Use the word retard. Get over it. Go somewhere else. Unsubscribe. Hit me with a thumbs down, please. Stop listening. But if you're a borderline retard, you can barely walk and hold your drool, then please come to America with open arms. We'll show you how you can vote Democrat. And what do the Democrats do, CJ, in every single state or city that they run? What do they do to it?
Yeah, massive debt, right? Massive debt, massive government dependency.
Yeah, they destroy it.
People nowhere. They destroy it, absolutely.
And everywhere you look, they destroy it. So bravo for President Trump calling a spade a spade. And see, let's talk about one of those shithole countries, Haiti, which has been a shithole since its freedom. It's always been a shithole. It's got nothing personally against Haitians or Africans or whatnot, or I wouldn't even call Africans. Africa is a very diverse place. So got nothing against the Sudanese, the Lebanese, the Tunisians, the Algerians, the Moroccans, the Somalians, the Ethiopians, the Djiboutians, the Eritreans, the Madagascarians, the Comorians, the Mauritians, the Rwandans, the Burundians, the Ugandans, the Kenyans, the Tanzanians, the Benins, the Fasoans, the Cameroonians, the Cote d'Ivoirians, the Gambians, the Ghanans, the Guineans, the Malians, the Nigerians, the Nigers, and so on and so forth, the Zambians, the Malawis, and Mozambikians. Nothing against them, but your country's a shithole. Nothing personal. Strictly business. And immigration is a business. We want an equitable. Human resources is important. Human resources is a business. When you come to this country, we want to exchange in human resource. You come with the talent, you come with the skills, you come with the know-how, then come on in. If you're willing to assimilate, come on in. If you're willing to ghettoize us or bastardize us or balkanize us even more than we already are, then you can stay the F out of here. You don't have to come in. Now let's look at Haiti, a country today that is still a shithole where people are eating fried mud. Okay, fried mud. That's what they're doing. Look it up, Google it if you don't believe me. Fried mud. Nothing against Haitians, but your country's a shithole. It's a shithole. It's always been a shithole. Have you ever remembered it not being a shithole? It's a shithole. Does that offend you? I'm sorry, but your country sucks. That's why you're here. If you're Haitian and you're listening to me, ça passe, maboule, hey, your country's a shithole. And Sage, why is one of the reasons why? Maybe a former president who's a three-time loser. Maybe whose foundation robbed the country of humanitarian aid and protected child traffickers. Siege, what's that all about, Siege? What'd you break that up? Maybe that also added to the fact that country's still a shithole. Go ahead, Siege.
Yeah, I mean that's what alarms me more than anything else is when we hear these, Trump's a racist about the people but they completely miss that the reason why these countries, are shithole, and primarily it's due to, either a completely failed government or completely due to the fact that they have so much corruption, the current monetary system that only favors the wealthy be. I'm a believer that most people want to succeed. Most people want an education. Most people want to do well. But however, they live in these oppressive countries with these governments where they rob, they steal, and then the double standard that's applied here in the U.S. So clearly we're seeing in the media, clearly we're seeing in the left come out and say, oh yeah, well, Trump's a racist for, calling these people shitholes. But yet they don't speak any of the truth about what occurred in Haiti. Let's talk a little bit around the fact that the Clintons protected a child trafficker who was arrested for trying to smuggle 33 children out of Haiti without documentation. And then boom, here comes in Hillary and Bill Clinton to the rescue. A known trafficker, Laura Silsby, former director of the New Life Children's Refugee. And these are facts, people. But where's this called out in the media? Where's this called on the left that Trump called this country a shithole, but look at these people who have committed a lot more crimes to the Haitian people. Protecting a child trafficker who was smuggling out 33 children. And this wasn't doing it to protect them. This was to put them in the sex slave trade, B. But never mind that, B. Never mind that. We can overlook that because it's not. It doesn't do well with our base. It doesn't get our base energized to talk about that.
Yep. Exactly. Let's just continue to virtue signal because that's the most important thing, Siege. That's the most important thing. Let's just virtue signal and talk about, oh, he said such an offensive word. He said shithole. He said those countries are shithole. By people who've never traveled outside of the country. By people, when they do travel outside of the country, they're not going to those continents. They're not going to those nations. They're not going to those kingdoms. They're not going to those neighborhoods. They're not going to those areas. What they're doing is that when they do vacation out, they're going to resorts and tropical upscale places, or they're traveling to other Western countries. I'm going to go take a tour of Amsterdam. Instead of Amsterdam, why don't you go to Angola? Why don't you go vacation in Angola? Try staying in a hotel over there. See how that works out when you have like dysentery the second day. And for the stupid liberal media, I called it back. See, we've been talking about the idiot media since 2016. We've been saying that it's going to be undone, it's going to be unraveled. And if you idiot morons in the liberal media, you guys want to take this whole Trump calls these nations a shithole and you want to run with it, good luck to you. Because not only have you dug yourself a hole the last few years, but you've also thrown in some grenades with you, and you've pulled the pin on all of them. Because if you think the American public is with you morons, except for a bunch of latte-lapping idiots in New York and in California, there's nobody else that's going to believe your bullshit. Okay? No one else is going to believe the bullshit of the mainstream media. Because the mainstream media, if you think And you're going to take what the president has said, and you're going to run with it like it's such an offensive thing. Like, oh my God, how can he call these countries a shithole? How can he call it? Because they are. Bunch of low IQ animals. Not all of them, but most of them. And the ones who are human and who have intelligence and who have marketable skills are usually the ones getting out, and they're trying to come here in a legal way or whatnot, or they're trying to get out of somewhere. They're trying to better themselves. They have an education. They're doing something. The vast majority of them in that country, in those countries that I just talked about, President Trump just talked about just a handful of countries, just a handful. I give you a litany. I don't maybe 100 countries I probably rattled off. I don't even know. They're all shitholes. And you want to know something, folks? I've been to places. I've been to places. And let me tell you something. Most of the world is a shithole. Okay? You have no idea how lucky you are that you have a toilet you could sit on and flush. You have no idea that when you go out, you have no idea what it's like to, okay, we're going to go out to eat at a restaurant, and you're nervous as hell as to what the hell you're eating. You don't know if you're going to get sick. You order either bottled water. You are holding your poo. You have to go take a dump, and you're like holding it the entire day because you got to get back to your hotel because you will not use the public facilities that are out there. That's how I was, because I've traveled abroad to some third world countries. And that's how it is. You have no idea how lucky you are that you have electricity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've been to countries where electricity and water systems just shut off. Just shut off for hours until they change shifts, because that's how bloated the bureaucracy is, that they make it impossible for proper transmission of power and water. Utilities that you and I take granted for every single day. You have no idea. Most of you have no idea what it's like to, you're in an area, you're worried about getting sick, you're worried about getting malaria, you're holding your poop because you're terrified of using a public facility over there, because the public facilities over there is basically a freaking hole in the ground. Or one of those toilets you just squat down. There's no toilet seats. You got to squat. It's like one of those, on the floor hole. And it doesn't flush. You got to fill your own bucket and then flush your own crap down the drain.
You mean it doesn't clean you at the same time?
No, it doesn't have a bidet. And you don't have a nice, comfy, king size bed at the hotel that's air conditioned with a nice fluffy duvet with a room service and a bottle of Jack waiting for you when you get back. No, you don't have any of that. That's a shithole. Okay, so, and this is what the rest of the country realizes. The rest of the country knows that. Liberal media has no clue, Siege. They have no clue.
No, not at all, V. Not at all.
Anyway, man, anything else?
No, just, again, just the amount of the double standard that's applied. I mean, you take a look at the Clinton Foundation is another, perfect example. They're very upset. The Haitians are upset, but never mind the fact that when, Hillary was Secretary of State and, they had that earthquake back in 2010, killed 220,000 people, V. They raised for their recovery efforts $13.3 billion that the Clinton Foundation helped to administer those funds.
Yep.
Of the $13.3 billion, do you want to know how much actually went to the Haitian government and the Haitian people, V?
How much, man?
A little over 610 million. Over 90% of the funds went to non-Haitian organizations from the Clinton Foundation. But never mind that, V. Never mind that. That's not important. That corruption is not important. Of money that was sent there to help the people, and then the Clinton Foundation, basically took the money and distributed it to their friends and donors.
Yep. And here's the thing, man. See, Trump just calls these countries shitholes and says, you know what? We don't want people from shitholes coming here because they contribute nothing. They're a drain on the system. They're a parasitic drain. That's all he says. Why? Because he's looking out for the best interests of his country. Why don't we look out for the best interest of our country, not what some schleprock from Uganda thinks or Malawi, and what can we do to help Cameroonians? The hell with that.
Right.
It's not our problem. Right? So that's what Trump says. Meanwhile, the Clintons, even though they don't call these countries shitholes verbally, they have such a disdain and hatred for these countries that they go out there and they literally, financially, and economically rape and pillage these countries. They destroy these countries. These globalists who put on this front that they care. These globalists who hide their avarice with their altruism. They hide their avarice with altruism. They're the ones who rob, rape, pillage, and destroy these countries because they see and look at them as if they were subhuman. They have no regard for them. They keep them that way. They like these poor countries because they're easy to control and take over. So those same ones who are all of a sudden have their panties in a bunch, who all of a sudden care. Oh my God, they call them a shithole. Those are the ones you need to watch out for. Apart from that, we have no business in bringing those people over here. The hell they're doing here? What can they possibly do here? This is not the 1920s. They're not going to go get a job at a factory. Unless you got real marketable skills here, folks, you're not going to make it. The economy is going to be very different here in the next 10 to 15 years. I hope all of you know that. A lot of your jobs that you thought you're going to have, it's going to go away. We're heading for a new 21st century technological future. And you better have a background in science and mathematics and in something. Otherwise, you're just not going to make it. It's the bottom line. So we don't need people who don't even know basic arithmetic to be here. We don't need people who have completely illiterate in their own language trying to come here. We don't need that. Why don't CNN and Don Lemonhead, why don't they go to any one of these shithole countries and broadcast live from there? In fact, CNN should move their headquarters to over there. They're not an American. They're not a pro-American news agency to begin with. Do you love these shitholes so much? Go move there. Go move there. That being said, Siege, I'm done. I'm done ranting.
Roger that. We'll be back at 12 p.m. Yeah, 12 p.m. We'll be back with Harley Slinger for Hang with Harley. So tune back in 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep, awesome. And with that being said, folks, we're over and out. Take it away, El Cuco.